Today, on Starfield Essentials, I review an amazing creation that exceeded my expectations. This is Vigilance by Novafinch, available for 600 credits on Creations. I'll give an overview, warnings, my conclusion, and bonus gameplay with spoilers. My name is Richard. Let's get started. Overview. Vigilance is an achievement-friendly creation, if that worries you. I featured this mod in a first look video on December 3rd. Modern Novafinch provided a free review copy for that video. Since then, I bought my own copy and upgraded to the latest version, which was 1.1.2. As you can see in this history page, Novafinch made many improvements, and I'm glad I paid for an update. In this video, I'm going to focus on the dungeon. Novafinch has added new armor capabilities, weapons, and shields, but these aren't the sort of elements that really interest me. Don't get me wrong, the armor is beautiful and was made by Harry Osborn and Darkman. It's just that I'm happy wearing my bounty hunter suit with my own customizations. So, how did I start this creation? I headed over to Turna 2. I wish there was a reason to do so, but that's all there is. As happened, when I first tried this creation, the POI did not appear on the planet view when I arrived in orbit. I chose to land on Turna 2, take off again, and then scan the planet a second time. After that, I was able to see the POI using my ship scanner and land accordingly. This could be the biggest dungeon added by a creation. I'd have to look at Forgotten Frontiers 1 and 2 for comparison, but it took me 2.5 hours to complete all of the activities, and I didn't even explore the whole location. The creation offered about 10 quests. I tried to track them in-game, but it was pretty chaotic. Here's how the quests look in Xedit. They basically involved exploring the Vigilance facility, accomplishing different tasks that helped me learn about the research there. Novafinch could easily have phoned it in with these quests and expected the player to just enjoy finding new loot in an original setting. Instead, I found some really creative storytelling, and in some cases, some fairly disturbing research projects. I'll show a couple examples at the end of the video. I'd like to make a special point about the music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. It was new and perfectly fit the environment. The last time I remembered noticing the music was when I played the Doom crossover creation. Because this was my second attempted playthrough of Vigilance, I made use of some of the lessons from my first attempt. I basically made sure I collected loot from every NPC I encountered. When I met a guard who shot at me and my party, I eliminated them. When I met a scientist, I disabled them with my EM weapons and sent them to my brig using non-lethal framework and useful brigs. In both cases, I made sure to collect every security keycard I could find. These are essential to gaining access to the right locations in Vigilance. Also, I made sure that I was looking for ways to traverse the facility via floor and ceiling hatches. If I had only looked in the immediate horizontal plane, I might have missed a way to get past an obstacle. Next, warnings. I had much more success with my second playthrough of Vigilance. Whereas the first time around, I couldn't bypass one shield wall, this time I found a way through. I did have trouble trying to finish the Prometheus mission. I realized that I needed to break down a false wall. However, I was running out of time in my play session. I ended up disabling collisions and passing through walls to get to the last location. With a little more patience, I would have found my way back to the right spot and broken down the wall. Patience might be the theme for this POI. It's so massive that reaching all the locations, or just keeping track of them, could be a challenge. At one point, I collected slates that were labeled as facility maps, but I didn't see how to use them. There were also teleports available for transport from one sector to another. I tried them a few times, but in some cases I just became more confused. I lost track of how the new location related to the one I had just left. In my first attempt, I also found myself stranded at a different site after taking a teleport. I'm not sure if Novafinch fixed something with the latest version, but I was able to easily return to the main facility in my second playthrough. The only limitation for this creation was that there weren't really any NPCs with whom I could interact. There was one named NPC that I will show on the spoilers, but he immediately became aggressive. Next, conclusion. Is this creation worth 600 credits? If you like massive POIs to explore and challenge your party, the answer is yes. I'm a fan of creations that add substantial new POIs, so in my book, Vigilance is worth it. Understand that this is a combat heavy mod. I asked myself, how did I go from responding to an SOS to suddenly fighting all these NPCs? The creative storytelling that I found at the Vigilance location made it worth it, however. If you're a person who likes armor and weapons, this creation has definitely got something for you as well. Thank you, Novafinch, for your work. And thank you to all my subscribers. Please consider subscribing to show YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content. Special thanks to all channel members. I hope you're enjoying our private Discord server. If you'd like to know more about membership, click the join button on the channel. There's no obligation. I use your contributions to pay for drives for capturing footage and to buy creations like this one to review. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for a positive and honest discussion of the game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. If you subscribe, you'll see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the phrase, "Ever Vigilant." Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos, and please tell your friends about the channel. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield. Now I'm going to share some bonus footage. These are spoilers, so you are warned. It's better to enjoy this yourself, but if you're never going to play it, check it out here. So one of the missions that was involved was called Questionable Ethics. And basically, you find that there is a Starborn that has been captured by this Vigilance research organization. And as you could tell when the mission came up there, it said, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, time to get out of there. Now, I've got some companions with me, so they might start fighting Mr. Adams, but I'm going to go see if I can find out a little bit more about his situation. So, yeah, Vincent Adams was a Freestar Ranger, I believe, or maybe he lived on Aquila City. I don't remember exactly what the story was, but there's a lot in this. This is a good example of the kind of the depth of content that Novafinch has put into the creation. And yeah, the lock isn't protected by 2 pips. It's I'm using Z-Ogre's all-in-one tweaks to get through it. But this is really cool. Vincent Adams, apparently the way that they control him is they reset his memory every day. So if you were to go through all of those entries in his diary, you just see the same thing over and over again. And here's a slate that explains that. So this is a good example of the depth of storytelling that Novafinch applied to creating this creation. And I was very impressed by this. This is one example of that. It might be my favorite, which is why I'm picking it to show here. But there's some other stuff that might not be as involved. It doesn't have a quest associated with it. But basically, because Vigilance is this research organization, they have, it's almost like specimens in these different locations. And I felt really bad that the way to end this quest, to clear this quest, was to, eliminate Vincent Adams. I wish there were another way to do it. And perhaps I should have tried an EM weapon or something like that. But here we can see that my companions are starting to get into a fight with Vincent Adams. And now I'm using the modular explosive delivery system. Oh, that's right. I tell you, that is such a great mod. I think that is my favorite. And it's probably my cat's favorite if you just heard him crying out there. And yeah, I think we just accomplished the mission. There we go. So goodbye, Vincent Adams. But this is one of my favorites in this creation. Let's take a look at another example. Look at the numbers above the door. As soon as you see those 3 numbers together, you know. Oh my goodness, what the heck is this? All right, so there's some Vigilance personnel in there that we'll have to deal with, but yeah, we'll take care of them in short order, and then we'll see what's inside this chamber. This is what I was talking about earlier, where, yeah, sorry, I'm not going to use any non-lethal force here in this with these NPCs, but yeah, this looks truly concerning. Let's grab everything they have, see if there's anything. I don't want to miss anything. That's something I learned when I first tried this creation, was I might miss a key card or some other special piece of loot that I needed to get access. So yeah, that looks kind of scary. And I didn't jump right into the middle because, that might not be a great idea. So let's see if there's some type of computer or something I can learn about what's going on. Yeah, here we go. and there's one item to read. Now, if you want to pause the screen and read this, or just take my word that it's kind of scary and it talks about all kinds of stuff that I prefer not to think about. And unfortunately, what you have to do to clear this mission is you have to walk inside. Oh, oh my God. You see what it says up there? Leave. It's so, oh my goodness, so disturbing. But that's what I did. I got out of there. I got some kind of armor, but I'm like, yeah, look at the scientist. The scientist is hiding. But I'm going to stun them with my EM weapon here so that I can take any loot they might have that might help me continue with this mission. So, yeah. Oh boy. That was a spooky one, folks. I'm not going to lie. Let's take a look at what we got from that chamber. Look at that. That is some cool armor. It's got some good stats, but look at that skull looking back at you out from the helmet. Oh my goodness. There's the full armor itself. Pretty cool. I've got one more spoiler that I'd like to share with you, and maybe if somebody has any details on this that could help me, I'd appreciate it. There's some type of entity sitting inside this special cage, sitting at an old Macintosh computer. And I wish there was a way to get in there, because the lore said that someone had found a way in using a stealth suit, and I was able to obtain the stealth suit, but I couldn't find a way in. So if anyone knows how to do that, please leave a comment or get in touch with me somehow. So I hope you enjoyed these spoilers. Please check out Vigilance. I think you will very much enjoy it.